Hello students, in this video we will discuss about multimolecular, macromolecular and associated colloids. Okay, in previous videos we discussed about classification of colloids based on the physical state of dispersed phase and dispersed medium. Okay, 8 types that we discussed. Later we discussed lyophilic and lyophobic. That classification done on the basis of nature of interaction between DP and DM. Now this is third classification, third and last classification. Okay, here colloids are classified into 3 types: multimolecular colloids, macromolecular colloids and associated colloids. Here this classification done on the basis of based on the type of particle of the dispersed phase. Here criteria is based on the type of dispersed phase. Based on the nature of dispersed phase. Otherwise based on the type of particle of the dispersed phase. Colloids are 3 types: multimolecular colloids, and second one is macromolecular colloids, third one is associated colloids. Let us see one by one. First come to multimolecular colloids. In case of multimolecular colloids, here these are small particles. These particles may be atoms or molecules, but these are small. Here dimension of the small particle is less than 1 nanometer. Such particles are associated aggregates together through van der Waals forces and give a single big particle. This big particle size is in colloidal range. See here, small molecules are joined together through van der Waals forces and gives a big particle. This particle is in colloidal range. 1 nanometer to 1000 nanometer means its size. Therefore, it is this particle size in colloidal range. So, this act as a dispersed phase. Now, this particle act as a dispersed phase when these particles are dispersed in a suitable dispersion medium, then colloidal solution is formed. Resulting colloidal solution is known as multimolecular colloid. See here, small molecules. Here the size of the small molecule is less than 1 nanometer. This molecule not able to form colloidal solution. That's why these small molecules are joined together through van der Waals forces and form a big molecule. This big molecule is size of this big molecule in colloidal range. When these big molecules means this act as a dispersed phase, when these dispersed phase particles are dispersed in a suitable dispersion medium, colloidal solution is formed. Resulting colloidal solution is known as multimolecular colloidal solution. See here, S-site molecule, N, a very large number of S-site molecules are associated like this and give a single particle. Its dimension is its size is in colloidal range. So, colloidal particle is formed in case of sulfur. Here N is greater than 1000 means here 1000 or more than 1000 acid molecules are joined together to give a single dispersed phase particle. Okay. Similarly, here gold, even gold also associate, many gold atoms are associated together to give a colloidal range particle. So, gold solely is an example for this kind of colloidal solution. Sulfur solely is an example for this kind of colloidal solution. Usually, lyophobic sols are multimolecular colloids. Okay, this is about multimolecular colloids. Now, come to macromolecular colloids. Here, macromolecule Macromolecule means big molecule, usually polymers. Polymers act as a macromolecules. So such a macromolecule act as a dispersed phase. Yeah, these macromolecules is in colloidal range. Is in this particle, this macromolecule is a big one. Its size is in colloidal range. So when this dispersed phase, when this macromolecule placed in suitable dispersion medium, colloidal solution is formed. Resulting colloidal solution is known as macromolecular colloidal solution. Here macromolecules themselves in colloidal range. So these straightly, when these straightly placed in dispersion medium, straightly will give macromolecular colloids. Okay. Now these macromolecule may be natural, like starch, cellulose, proteins, enzymes in water. Okay. These macromolecules may be synthetic, like polythene, polystyrene, nylon, synthetic rubber, etc. Okay. Now here usually lyophilic salts are macromolecular colloids. We know lyophilic salts are more stable. Therefore, macromolecular colloids are more stable. Okay. Now, third kind of colloidal solutions, associated colloids. Here, some substances act as normal electrolytes at a low concentration but act as colloidal particles at a high concentration. Some substances act as normal electrolytes at a low concentration but act as colloidal particles at a high concentration. Example, soap and detergent. We will see what is the meaning of this. We will see. Here example, soap and detergent. See, we know what are soaps. Soaps are sodium or potassium salts of long chain fatty acids. This is sodium stearate. This is sodium stearate. This is one of the common example for soap. This is sodium lauryl sulfate. Sodium lauryl sulfate. This is an example for detergent. So here soaps and detergents act as a normal electrolytes at low concentration but act as a colloidal particles at a high concentration. We will see. Here I am taking one example, soap as an example. This is soap, RCONA. When this placed in water, soap placed in water, it ionizes into RCO minus and Na plus. This RCO minus, in case of sodium stearate, RCO minus is stearate ion, anion of soap. Here RCO minus. So suppose soap is sodium stearate, anion is stearate ion. Okay, here this separated out Na plus. So this stearate ion, here I am writing this CH3, CH2, 16 times CONA. Here total altogether 18 carbons are there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. Here these are 17 carbons. This is 18th carbon. Here 18th carbon act as a functional group COO minus. Okay. Now this portion is made up of carbon and hydrogen only, CH3, CH2, CH2 like that. So this portion is made up of only carbon and hydrogen. That's why this part is called as hydrocarbon parts. This portion COO minus. This is a non-hydrocarbon part. Hydrogen not there. That's why non-hydrocarbon part. Usually we know this hydrocarbon part is non-polar. Hydrocarbons are non-polar. This hydrocarbon part is non-polar. This non-hydrocarbon part, here we know carbonyl group is a polar in nature. That's why this is non-hydrocarbon part act as a polar one or ionic one. So in stearate ion, this part is act as a tail. This part act as a head. head. So usually this tail is hydrophobic, means this tail, hydrocarbon part, hating water, because this is hydrocarbon. Hydrocarbon means this is non-polar, but water is polar. We know like dissolves like. But this is hydrocarbon part. Water is hydrocarbon part means polar. Water is hydrocarbon part means non-polar. Water is polar. That's why these are not similar. That's why these are hating together. Hydrocarbon part hates water. That's why this tail hydrophobic. This is head. Head is a polar one. Water is polar one. That's why this part attracts water. That's why it is called as hydrophilic. This is the structure of stearate ion. Okay, stearate ion having two parts in its structure. One is tail. Tail is hydrophobic. Another one is head. Head is hydrophilic. Okay, now when this soap is placed in water, what happens? See, this is stearate ion. Stearate ion having two parts, head. Head carries negative charge. This is head. Head carries negative charge. Tail, no charge. Okay. See, these are hydrophilic head parts. So that's why soap molecule keeps their heads inside of the water. But this is tail. Tail is hydrophobic. That's why stearate ion keeps its tail away from the water, because this tail is hydrophobic, hating water. That's why the stearate ion keeps its tail away from the water, outside of the water, but it keeps its head in the water, but head is hydrophilic. So like this, this is true solution. Okay, stearate ion, when soap is placed in water, the stearate ion soap dissociate and gives stearate and sodium ions. The stearate ions arranged like this at surface. Okay, resulting solution is a true solution. Now, see, suppose this solution concentration is increasing. This solution concentration is increasing. Suppose if more soap is added to this solution, concentration of solution increases. As concentration of solution increases, more stearate ions are available in water. More stearate ions are available in water means all those stearate ions arranged like this. See here, when stearate ion concentration increases in solution, stearate ions are associated together in a spherical shape. While associating with each other, stearate ions keeps their tails towards the center of sphere and keeps their heads over the surface of the sphere. So when stearate ions are associated together, then spherical particle is formed. In this spherical particle, stearate ions tails are towards the center of the sphere, and stearate ion heads are placed on the surface of the sphere. So this is associated particle. This associated particle is called as micelle. Usually micelle made up of 100 stearate ions. Okay. When concentration increases, stearate ions are associated together and gives a spherical shaped particle. While forming that spear-like particle, stearate ions keeps their tails towards the center of the sphere and keeps their heads over the surface of the sphere. As a result of this, associated particle is formed. That associated particle is known as micelle. So usually micelle is made up of 100 stearate ions. So here, as a result of this, this micelle in colloidal range, means size of this micelle is in the range of 1 nanometer to 1000 nanometer. Therefore, this can act as a colloidal particle. Hence, resulting solution is said to be associated colloidal solution. Therefore, if stearate ions are associated together and give a micelle whose dimensions in the range of 1 nanometer to 1000 nanometer, so it acts as a colloidal particle. therefore resulting solution is said to be associated colloidal solution. Therefore, when concentration of soap solution is low, that time soap act as a just like electrolyte. When concentration of soap solution increases, soap act as a colloidal particle. Soap act as a colloidal particle due to the formation of micelle. Okay, now see, suppose when we add water to this, then what happens? Concentration decreases, means dilution. So therefore what happens? This micelle breaks down and separate out. Free ions or free stearate ions are formed. Therefore we can get back again into this true solution. Therefore this is reversible. As concentration increases, micelle formation takes place, then associated colloidal solution is formed. On dilution, these micelles are breaks down and gives back true solution. So this is about associated colloidal solutions. Okay, here soap act as a normal electrolyte at low concentration, whereas same soap can act as a colloidal solution at a high concentration due to the formation of micelles. Okay, here in soap two parts are there, hydrophobic and hydrophilic. Okay, now here this micelle formation only takes place under certain conditions. Temperature, definite temperature should be there for the formation of micelle, definite concentration should be there. We will see here, critical micelle concentration, CMC, critical micelle concentration, critical micelle concentration. Micelle formation takes place. Micelle formation takes place only above a particular concentration. Only above a particular concentration known as critical micelle concentration. See, micelle formation takes place only above particular concentration. That particular concentration is known as critical micelle concentration. Micelle formation takes place only above a particular concentration known as critical micelle concentration. In case of soap, critical micelle concentration is in the range of 10 power minus 4 molar to 10 power minus 3 molar. When soap concentration in the range of these values, then only micelle formation takes place, otherwise not takes place. Similarly, Kraft temperature. See, this is a particular temperature. Above that particular temperature, micelle formation takes place. Otherwise, micelle formation does not take place. Such a particular temperature is known as Kraft temperature. So, micelle formation takes place only above micelle formation takes place only above, here I am writing, Kraft temperature. Micelle formation takes place only above a particular temperature known as Craft temperature. So this is about three types of colloids. What are they? Multimolecular, macromolecular, associated colloids. Now we will see the cleaning action of soap. See, come to next small topic, cleansing action of soap, cleaning action of soap. You know, soaps act as a cleaning agents. See how they remove dirt from clothes. We will see here. This is dirt. Usually, dirt means dirt on clothes is nothing but oils or greases. See, oils or greases act as a dirt on the clothes. Here dirt sticking to the cloth, so dirt on cloth. See, when soap is applied in the presence of water to clothes, then what happens? We know soap dissociates into stearate ion and Na plus. Those stearate ions, otherwise those stearate ions arranged around this dirt. In stearate ion, two parts are there. See, this is head. Head is hydrophilic. That's why stearate ion keeps its head towards water, because head hydrophilic. But this is a tail. This tail is hydrophobic. That's why stearate ion keeps its tail towards the dirt or grease. Therefore, these tails are pegged into the dirt. Therefore, stearate ions are tails of the stearate ions are away from the water, but heads towards the water. Like this, many stearate ions are arranged around dirt. Okay, in this way. Okay, when many stearate ions are concentrated on dirt, stearate ion carries negative charge. Therefore, over small region, more negative charge will be there. Therefore, repulsions are dominating. Repulsions will be there. Because of those repulsions, this dirt may break down. At the same time, these stearate ions are attracted by the water. Therefore, these stearate ions moves along with water and attracted by the water. Therefore, along with the stearate ions, even dirt also removed from the cloth. Therefore, this comes up. Therefore, remaining stearate ions surrounding around the dirt and forms micelle like this. Therefore, once this micelle is found, means this mingle with here surface, over the surface of micelle, hydrophilic heads are there. These are attracted by the water. That's why these mingle with water and this dirt is removed along with the water. Therefore, in this way, dirt is separated from the cloth surface and mingled with water and separated away from the cloth. So here two micelles repel with each other. That's why micelles may not join with each other. This is the cleaning action of soap. Here first, this is dirt present on the cloth. Dirt is nothing but oil or grease stains. Okay, when soap applied, stearate ions arranged around the dirt like this. So stearate ions keeps their heads towards water, but keep their tails inside of the dirt. So here these heads are attracted by the water. Therefore, heads are moving towards water. That time this dirt separate out from the cloth. Therefore, when this dirt rises up, so remaining stearate ions approaching around the dirt and forms micelle formation takes place. Okay, this micelle attracted by the water and separated out. So in this way, dirt is separated from the cloth. This is the cleaning action of soap. Okay.